What's going on, everybody? It's your man JG, and I'm back with another pod for y'all. I got a special guest on today, someone that I've been real close with for a while, Big Cuz. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on? That's the best introduction you can give me,
And
man. I mean, the first time you gave my whole government, all right, so look, you can just say, just let it roll. It's cool. You can either say Mike Lowry, you can say Gutter, you can say Nuke, whatever you want to call, whatever y'all.
I'm gonna stick with Mike Lowry, cause they don't need to know the whole government, man. But this is my big cuz, Mike Lowry. First off, man, I want to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
But I got a few questions for you. With everything going on currently, in our time right now, with all the riots breaking out, social injustice, police brutality, how do you feel? How is this making you feel? How are you processing all this?
It's a lot to process. Like, I think I'm gonna be honest, I was a little late to find out about Brother Floyd that was murdered up in Minnesota. I once I found out, I saw people like posting a picture. I was like, let me just look into it, and I got to realize, I'm like, wow, this is bad, man. And it just kind of ruined my mood for last couple days, and I'm kind of coming out of it. I'm still upset, but I'm trying not to let that deter me from what I need to get done. This is a tough time, but that's why it's pivotal that we do what we can to make the change that we want to happen. Going out to vote, and just making sure that we do what we can to get the people that we don't like out of office. Just similar to what Killer Mike was saying the other day, that really resonated with me, because I felt like that's pretty accurate at how I'm feeling right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And a lot of people are channeling their emotions differently, and the young people in particular, we don't know what else to do. We don't know the right way to go about it, because we didn't see the history, we didn't see the protests, and the guy who was protesting peacefully gets shot, gets assassinated, or he loses his job. He don't play football no more. It's tough, man. So we're in a position like, what is the right way to go about this to get that equity, that equality that we're looking for? So
I think this is really a critical time where your faith comes into play. You gotta, the world is messed up. It's been messed up for as long as it's been around. But you have to have faith that God or whoever you believe in. I don't want to offend anybody, but that that you have someone that's going to protect you, and make sure that you are able to that you're gonna see it through, see the next day. And if it's your time to go, it's just your time to go. But you don't want to get overwhelmed by this. Because good days are ahead. But because as bad as things are now, think about how bad they used to be. We've come a long way. It's still so much further that we have to go.
A lot further. And I think it's how we consume social media. It's almost like making you desensitize it, and some people can't really become numb to it, because when they see that, it's a trigger. It's really triggering, man. So
think about it. When it's really bothered me for real, because I'm a new parent, and it's like, man, when I leave the house, like, am I gonna make it back to see my daughter? You feel me? Like, is she gonna have to grow up without knowing her dad? You feel me? Like, for having very few memories. You feel me? Like, and that kind of puts it in a whole nother aspect for you. Like, it makes you move a little different. That's why I'm okay that I'm not the radical type that's like, man, I'm gonna stand on Capitol Hill, like, we demand a change. Like, that's not me. And I don't have a problem with anybody that does do it, because we need those type of people. You know what I mean? It's just that it's also important to know yourself. Now, anything I can do to support the movement, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know that I'm not gonna be the person out there. Like,
Right.
I hear stories from my grandpa used to tell me, you feel me, like he used to get locked up almost every week because they out there protesting, you know what I mean, and different stuff like that. And like, he was real instrumental in GM, you know, getting their union started, you know what I mean? So because there was a lot of racial stuff going on there where like his white co-workers might go behind him and just trip him for nothing or push the black employees. And grandpa, I remember he used to tell me stories. He'd be like, man, y'all better, don't touch me. And then, you know, one guy I guess tried, and he was chasing him around the plant with a pipe and everything, like, and
Wow.
You know how you hear people tell stories and you like, he probably exaggerating. I kid you not. I was young. I was probably like 9 or 10, bro. We went to the credit union because, you know, their age group, that's what they do. They go to the credit union, kick it. And one of the guys was like, hey, hey man, I still remember you was chasing that guy through the plant with that pipe, man. Like, and he was like, man, you was about to kill him. He's like, man, what you think I was trying to do? You feel me? Like, cause he was that fed up.
Yeah.
But that was the mindset he had. He was like, man, I'm not gonna let y'all push me around. And who knows where we'd be if it wasn't for people like him. You know what I mean? So
and I think you touched on it too. You said you're not trying to be on Capitol Hill.
yeah.
I think when I look at that, it's trying to be a star in your role.
Mm-hmm.
You know, understand what type of, you know, role that you can play. Understand what type of role that you can play just in battling this, you know, and combating all that. So I think that's important too, man.
Because it's important that we also, as much as we want to, we want to implement change and everything, and we want everything to change and be for our betterment, we still have to educate each other.
Mm-hmm. And
that's what's missing more than I think anything. You know what I mean? Like, we don't understand the complexities of what's happening and why it's happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm comfortable enough to say I'm ignorant to that. You know, but I do still try to learn as much as I can. You know, that's why it's important to read. And I was never a really big reader, but I've gotten into it lately, mainly because my friends would read and they would talk about books, and I'm just never that type of person that want to be able to be left out of the conversation. You know what I mean? So we just have to continue to educate ourselves and try to figure out like what we can do to, you know, push this change a lot sooner. So
speak a little bit on just the attitude of the riders, you know, messing up Target and just how they going about all of this. Like, and we talked about it earlier, man, like they gonna shoot us regardless. You know, like they shoot us if we're being submissive, if we be compliant, and they're gonna shoot us especially if we give them a reason more. Now, when people say that, oh, well, you obviously gonna get labeled a coon, like, you know, niggas ain't supposed to act like that. You just giving them a reason, all that. But it's like, you know, an eye for an eye. Was that really the way either? You know, like
we literally was just talking about this, and it's like, I don't have an issue with people who are rioting. Like, you're frustrated, you know what I mean? Like, you've tried to do things the way that they want you to do it, and it's not getting us anywhere. But you still gotta be, you still gotta have purpose. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, you riot and you do all of this. What is your end goal? You know what I mean? So it's like, I get everybody that's frustrated and they like, man, cops come at me like that, I'm gonna punch them in the face. Okay, so now you're gonna give them a reason to kill you because they call that assault on the officer. So now your defense, your innocent defense has gone out the window. You know what I mean? And this, I don't know. I don't want to be labeled a coon because I don't believe that I am. It's just that I feel like if we're gonna do stuff like that, we're feeling like we have to fight back. It's like, okay, if we do fight back, let's analyze it. What ends up being our end goal? What are we trying to obtain? What is it that we're trying to do, that we're trying to get changed, that this is gonna be worth it? You know what I mean? And people will say, well, we've been trying to follow the rules and it ain't helped. It has. It's just not where we have this idea of what we want the world to be like and how it should be equal for all races and all, and I get it. Eventually, hopefully, we will get there. We're not there, but look at where we were. Things are. I'm pretty sure if we talk to our parents can tell you how drastically things have changed. You know what I mean? And it's a shame that we still have to have these conversations, because I think when we started getting the ball rolling, everybody was like, okay, just a little bit longer. And here we are 40, 50 years later, and we still haven't
got the ball rolling.
Yeah, you feel me? It's like, I don't know.
I mean, when you look at all the protesters that have gained momentum in this battle, man, they always end up being killed. They try to silence us. So it's like, if we try to talk with our words, they try to silence us. If we fight back, they gonna kill us regardless. It's like like you said, what Killer Mike was saying, it we have to strategize. We got to go back to the drawing board, and we really got to unify and understand how we can combat this, man. Because until we do that, until we unify as Black people, because it's too many of us that's arguing amongst ourselves when the whole enemy is racism anyway. But now it's like we trying to point out all the coons and get them, but it's like, are they really? I mean, some people are being rational, man. I don't know.
And that's the thing. You're being rational, but you also want to.
You don't want to be dismissive of what's going on either. That's what people are getting angry about when they talk about, oh, well, if you would just comply, this wouldn't. So that triggers a lot of people too. But I don't know, man. It's really like a double-edged sword with this, man.
And I think a lot of times when people use that phrase, coon behavior, it's like they're almost giving off the impression that the person that they're referring to is not taking their frustration, or telling them not to be frustrated. That's not. I don't believe people are saying that. I think people are just saying there are different ways to go about this. You know what I mean? Because not to put you on the spot, but I'm on the spot. So it's like, what do you think the meaning of those peaceful marches that Dr. King was doing? What do you think that was? What do you think the purpose was?
The purpose was that, I think, for me, was him being able to unify us as Black people, and that we can come together without having to resort to violence, without having to retaliate. We can use our smarts and our words, our education, our intelligence to combat that. I think that's what he was saying. And I understand both sides, man. I understand the rage. I understand that, because if you've seen your loved one, your family member, you instantly just see in red. And I understand where a lot of people are coming from, but I think you can't help if you're dead. You can't fight for Black rights if you're not alive. So we have to keep that in mind too.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because you look at these young men who are graduating high school, and it's like, man, they're excited even through, dealing with COVID. You know what I mean? Like, they've adjusted, but I don't know if they're. You just gotta pray that someone's talking to them and getting them prepared about how to adjust now that they're in the world. They're not a kid anymore. You know what I mean? You're an adult now, and it's like you got it's different. You know what I mean? Like I was just talking to my little cousin who graduated this morning.
Shout out to Dre.
Yeah, you know, like I'm mad proud of him, but I told him I just wanted him to realize, like, get out here in the world and things are hard and you feel like you're doing something wrong, like don't feel like you did something wrong, you know what I mean? Like everybody's going through this, you know what I mean? Like nobody walking this earth was prepared for COVID. So everybody's adjusting. It's hard for everybody getting used to working from home and working out at home and still having your kids, that being your home, you know what I mean? Like this is a all-in-one, you know, your house is an all-in-one at this point. Like nobody could adjust to that, and you just gotta. I worry about some of these kids if they're
mental.
If they're getting prepared for how this other side of life is. Because once you become an adult, you're an adult for the rest of your life. You know what
I mean? And this life is hard. Like life shit is hard, man. That's all I'm gonna say. That life shit is so hard, bro.
What do you think is hard about it, though?
I think it's like you said, the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, the wins, the losses. The wins don't happen as often as the losses do, you know. So, and then especially with the stuff that you just can't prepare for, like with the pandemic, and then all of this, it's just like, you know, what do you want me to do, you know? Like, and then that mental aspect is important. Because a lot of people are committing suicide or they just become very depressed, man. Like, and like through these times, we have to be mentally strong, and we have to know that we gotta. We're gonna be all right.
You know, one thing that's gotten me through most of my life, like even with college, I told you, your cousin Reggie, you feel me? Like he literally got me through college, and you know, like he'll tell me, like, nah, this ain't what you want, bro. Like, go ahead and finish. And then I finish, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's you always need people like that in your life because you have to, like you said, you got to be mentally strong. One thing I live by is you're always remembered more for what you get through, as opposed to you're remembered more for how you get through it as opposed to what you go through, because everybody's going through something. You know what I mean? Like everybody goes through something. Like you said, like some people can't handle it and they end up committing suicide. Like, and that's sad, man, because it's one, you just wonder, like, did they need somebody to talk to that could have got them through it, like just to that next point, because they made it to wherever they was at. They made it that far. That should, you know, you wish that would have been enough. You know what I mean? But what I just use to keep me focused when I get down, I'll be like, man, if I was to be gone tomorrow, like, what are people gonna remember? Like, are they gonna be like, man, he was able to get through whatever was thrown at him? That's what I try to hold on to that, man.
That's interesting.
Even through this, you know, like this pandemic, it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. You feel me? Like, I don't know what the other side look like, but I just gotta believe that I can get through it.
You're gonna come out on the other side, all right?
Hey, I know that I'm gonna come out. That thought never crosses my mind that I won't make it to the other side.
Right, and then that thought right there, that's fear, and that's also failure. You can't allow that failure to creep into your mind. You know, the mind has a habit of playing these tricks, man, and they can take over. If you let it.
But again, that goes back to faith. That's why it's so important. Like, you gotta believe in something. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be caught just out here living life not believing in nothing, because something does happen when you die. You know what I mean? Like, so you'd rather just die and not believe in nothing?
That's true. I mean, but you know, religion is such a crazy thing to comprehend, though, man. But I obviously I do have faith, you know, and I definitely think that, you know, that judgment day is coming. You know, and it's, especially with the stuff that's going on now, it only makes it more prevalent, man. So, and it's also a little scary too, bro. For real, it just seems like the world is crumbling, bro. You don't really know how to take that.
I think we also got to realize that the media they control the narrative, so it's like
mind control the masses.
That's all
the
they're
media
doing.
Controls the masses. Yeah.
So that's why you'll see people that's like, man, I don't know if COVID is this serious. Like, well, it probably is.
100,000 people.
I don't know if it's that serious, but it makes me wonder. The world has just been scared.
They have.
And it's like the media feeds off of that. They like, all right, we got to buy into this now. Everybody's scared. Nobody's going out the house. Well, now we can control them because everybody's sitting at home watching the TV, and that's not healthy because because
you're just consuming.
You're consuming all this bad energy, and
you have nothing else to take you away.
Sports is gone.
Concerts
are gone.
Man.
You can't go to the movies. You can't go skating. What else do people do? You can't go swimming. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. Like people don't want to fly. They don't want to travel.
What's crazy is somebody posted this on social media, man. They said we going through a whole pandemic, yet they are tear gassing people, and this is a respiratory disease.
Mm-hmm. That's deep. I hadn't thought about it like that, but that's so
man. What? That is crazy. Ain't nobody social distancing, bro. You know how many people were in these cities? You just all collaborating at the same time, bro. We don't know, bro. A lot is it's just so much uncertainty, and I think that uncertainty, with especially with the young people, because us not knowing what our future is going to look like, a lot of us feel hopeless,
and the problem with that, your country's leaders should be able to deliver some kind of hope,
right?
You know what I mean? Like,
we don't see that.
We can't even get the leadership to deliver some hope. Now, you'll have some people that's like, man, he gave me $1,200. That was hope enough for me. Okay, if that's all it takes,
that ain't.
I don't know I don't know how you live off.
Ain't nobody living off of that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the sad part, man. You would hope that with the country going through what it's going through, people are hurt, people are frustrated, they can't go outside, millions have lost their jobs, and
unemployment sky high.
Yeah, and leadership can only just continue to divide, like just add to the narrative. But again, everybody's at home. Bars just opened up, but I don't know if people are people really going to bars?
They were shooting at the bars.
What?
Rather than dating, they was.
Where?
At Arena.
Somebody got shot at Arena?
They were shooting at Arena when they opened it, yeah.
No, I ain't hear.
This was like the past weekend, I think, as soon as they opened it up.
Nah, it wasn't Arena. It was the other club.
Was it Cheeks?
Yeah, Cheeks. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But that's unfortunate, man, because I think Cheeks is actually a pretty good spot for real. Like, they always had good food, and then I like how they got like 3 different rooms. So if they really wanted to swag him out, you feel me? They could have 3 different vibes. You could have boom, you got your bar over here, you got your elegant, nice, sophisticated area here, and then on the other side is the club. You feel me? Like, hey.
Why do you feel like people just can't come together and have a good time though? Like, especially our people, us as black people.
It's way too much jealousy. You know what I mean? Like, I compare it to when you go to a casino. Like, when you go to a casino, man, like I play blackjack. So my thing is, when I come in, I see a table, I'm like, all right, I'm watching tables, and I'm also watching people playing, trying to see what type of players they are. Because what is the object of blackjack when you're playing?
To get to 21.
To get to 21, but you're playing against
the dealer.
The dealer.
Yeah.
You're not playing against the other people that are betting money. they're trying.
We all trying to win money from him.
We should be working together to rob this
him.
man.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't work because the casino wouldn't be in business long if that was the case, right? So I'm pretty sure that these casinos are placing people in there to throw the tables off, throw people off. That's why it's important to watch. Because if you're sitting at a table playing blackjack, you got 16, you like, man, I just need to see if I can grab me a 3, maybe an ace, something like that. You feel me? Like, you in good shape. But then the person before you, they looking at you. What are you looking at me for, bro?
Yeah, like, right, well, you got
nothing to do
face
with your
card
bet.
over there.
I ain't got nothing to do with your bet, bro. But they want to keep pulling cards, like taking cards away from you. Instead of working together, like everybody just sitting there working together, like, look, if I got 17, we gonna make sure that he got to go get 18. He takes the chance as opposed to us. We all gonna win. But people don't have that mindset. You feel me? It's the same way out here, but like people go to the club and they see somebody else who then pop 2 more bottles than they did. Now they upset, so they gonna pop 3. And then if somebody talks trash, now they wanna walk up to them, get in their face. It's like, man, we ain't, why not just be like, hey, we done bought the whole bar.
Right.
Celebrate that. We done came together as black men, gone to a black establishment, and bought all the liquor. If you wanted to celebrate something, celebrate that. But y'all get into it and you celebrate that you done beat him up or you done popped him. You feel me? Like,
we was having such a good time.
How does the situation turn that drastic? Big guy?
You know good.
Man, my rich cousin just walked in. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, man. Like if people didn't take this jealousy thing so serious, man. I don't know, man. We should be, like you said, we should be able to come together, go to the club, and everybody
have a good time.
Man, I imagine when our parents were going to the club, everybody dancing. Like, you always hear them talk about, man, wasn't nobody standing on the wall? That was lame to stand on the wall. Now you go to the club and you see 3 people dancing. You feel me? Everybody else standing
on the wall on their phone.
Come on, man. Let's have a good time. I don't want people standing on the wall. I'm lame, so. But
well, now
I don't want to embarrass nobody with my dance moves because my moves is crazy, son.
Man, I just don't understand that whole envious thing. Like, it's like, why are you so focused on trying to, bring me down in order to feel good about yourself? People gotta flaunt it in somebody's face, like, you hanging with your friend, and there be that one hothead, like you saying one time, like you just go in the club, you see somebody like, hey, I'll fuck your bitch, bro. This is going.
Yeah.
That's gonna.
We squad.
and then we gonna be fighting like at least the whole squad. So it's like it's exhausting, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but I think a lot of that is people. When people don't have, they have issues internally that they're dealing with that they don't even know how to. They don't know how to deal with them, so they take it out on other people. This is probably another reason why people are so violent, because they don't even have the intelligence to use their words to share their point. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a disagreement, you should be able to use your words as an adult to say, hey, I didn't like the fact that you did this. Boom, boom. We should be able, as men, to be like, okay, I respect that. My bad. I'm gonna walk away. You feel me? Like, I ain't mean that, and that should be the end of it. But somebody might feel like somebody talking to them crazy, and then, man, what's up, bro? Man, get out my face, and then push somebody. Now when you put your hands on somebody, now all the rules is thrown out, man, because you can't just go around putting your hands on people. That's part of the issue in the world today. Man, Unc told me, he told me so a couple years ago, man. I told him, I said, man, I didn't realize this many it was this much domestic violence going on. He was like, man, I don't know how you didn't realize it was this bad. I said, I guess I just never paid attention. He said something that stuck with me. If everybody would just keep their hands to themselves, think about how much better this world would be.
They taught that back in kindergarten, bro.
Why did this get lost?
We threw that rule out the window early.
Think about it.
Yeah.
If everybody, if an upset male spouse, would keep his hands off of his spouse, domestic violence goes away. If an angry man at the club keeps his hands off another angry man at the club, violence goes away. If officers refuse to use violent force against another human being, a black man who's handcuffed, who can't defend himself,
4-on-1, you know.
You know what I mean? Like, violence goes away. But we act like it's just such a difficult thing. Like, it's so hard to wrap our mind around it. Like, it could be that simple. If everybody just keeps their hands to themselves, what is there really to be angry about?
Bro, that shit goes back so far, bro. And they've taught it in schools. They told you when you was little to not do that.
Exactly.
But yet, they failed to follow those exact rules. You know? A lot of things are so simplistic when you really think about it, but we are just so complex as human beings, we just don't understand simple. Like, what?
We think that you get brownie points for doing something hard, more difficult.
Or doing something easy that's easy that's becoming hard. Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you think that if you tell somebody, like, how old are you, 27?
24.
He said, man, don't be putting no age on.
Don't fast forward me, bro. Damn.
All right, at 24 years old, it don't hit the same when you say, I just learned to ride a bike. If you can't go around telling your friends, they'll be like, what you mean you just learned how to ride a bike at 24 years old?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in their mind, that's easy. But if you say, man, I just developed this app, the response is totally different, right?
No, yeah, they look at you like, yo, you a whole IT. You a whole IT or something. Like you've been developing this for some time. And they feel like you've been putting in that work.
Right. But they feel like riding a bike only takes a couple hours and you fall off 3 times and then you should be good then.
Not always the case, but
not always. No, you're right. But that's the way that people would look at it.
Right.
If you bring it to them and you tell them like, hey, I just learned to ride my bike. What was your childhood like? You know, instead of being compassionate and being like, so why didn't you get to learn how to ride a bike? You know, maybe you had some issues medically where your legs didn't all the way work. You feel me? Or you were in poverty and your family didn't have the money to buy you a bike. People don't think about it like that. They think about like, what you mean you just learned to ride a bike at 24, idiot? Like, you know, they want to, talk bad.
Yeah, they gonna down. They
you
gonna
don't get no credit for that.
Right.
But like I said, if you come up with something that seems a little more challenging, that's when people want to give you credit.
That's a fair point, but I like that, man.
I got a lot of gems, man. I got a lot of gems in my 30 years on this earth, or 20-something years on this earth.
Don't give away your age, but I mean, you only getting younger, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear, bro.
8 years.
Let me shift to this, though. So, we talked about how we ain't had sports. There is a possibility that the NBA is coming back July 31st. Now, they said that they was doing a 16-team bracket.
Okay.
You know? Your team, and go ahead and tell everybody what your team is real quick.
Real LA team, Lakers.
Okay. They're gonna have to play Brooklyn first round.
Who is?
The Lakers.
Why?
Because of the seeding. The 16th is if they just throw out conferences.
Oh, they talking about throwing
out conferences. Yeah.
What? Oh, Brooklyn will get clinked up.
So what if KD play?
Clinked up. Clinked up. You tripping, bro? We are rolling, Jack.
So look at it like so. Here's this though. The bracket is you would have Milwaukee would play Orlando, right?
Easy.
OKC would play Miami. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting one though. But yeah. I would take Miami in that one.
I probably would, but it would depend on if, as much as I don't like CP, I think he's the dirtiest player, and if he can get those young guys ready.
I like Shai Gilgeous though.
Kentucky, that's my other team. Yeah, we produce talent.
Yeah,
it's probably 30. I'd probably say 40% of the league probably came from Kentucky, bro.
That's no cap though.
Or if you look at it, we probably need to look at some all-stars, man. Take like
John Wall.
I mean, I'm trying to think. You got
Davis,
AD. You got
Carl
John
Anthony Towns.
What's up, man?
Devin Booker.
Who? Yeah, we got him. Who else you want?
Shit, Julius Randle. Even though he really wasn't the biggest name that came out. I mean,
Rondo. If you want to go back, you feel me?
That's way back.
Yeah. Talent. Yeah.
I'm already knowing.
We got it. Nah, but yeah, if CP could get those he could get those young guys, ready. It's hard for me to bet against that team because they got a decent little squad.
Miami got a winning culture though.
What if they won without LeBron? No, I take that back. What if they won without Dwayne Wade?
He's retared though, but I mean, you have to bring in.
What if they went before him?
Nothing.
What if they went after him?
Nothing.
That's why they brought him back. They was like, we got to give it at least one last chance.
I like their team though, bro. I like Bam.
Kentucky.
Nice. Yeah.
We got it, man. We putting out talent, Jack.
What's the next series, man? This is a good one. The Clippers and Dallas.
Clippers are going to clean them up. Dallas
they too young.
Dallas Porzingis is good,
but he too steep. Montrezl gonna eat him.
I don't think Porzingis. This is the thing. Clippers got some niggas on their team.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like they got some dudes.
Dogs.
Like I don't even like them guys. Like Pat Beverly, I hate him with a passion. But it's like they got guys that are tough and like just like to muck up the game. I don't know if Porzingis flourishes in a game that's mucked up.
That's a good point. How you think Luka fares in that?
I don't know how Luka would play with somebody like Patrick Beverly up under him.
They probably gonna put Kawhi on him a lot too.
You don't think they'll put Pat Beverly?
They'll put Pat Bev on him to start the game.
Okay.
But when it's time to end the game, Kawhi is gonna be on him.
What about Paul George?
Or Pete. That's what I'm saying. Luka gonna be so
again, that
down.
Clippers gonna clean them up quick. That's not even
I think that the Mavs may get a game. Maybe one, but
maybe if it's like 3-0 and they trying to fight off what does my boy Bomani say, stave off elimination, stuff like that, something like that. Maybe that's when they get one, but I can't see them like in the middle of the series, like it's like 1-1 or 2-1. I can't see it like that. Nah, it's gonna be like 3-1 and it's over. They just formalities at that point.
All right. Well, the last one in that bracket is Philly and Boston. First round.
That probably, without even seeing the other games, that probably would be the best series.
Yeah.
Because Philly last year I felt like Philly had the team that matched up the best with Golden State. Because if you think about that length that they had, man, they had Ben Simmons at the 1, they had Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris.
You put Ben on Curry, and Curry, what are you gonna do with someone that's 6'10"?
Man, I would put Ben on KD.
Yeah, he was gonna have to guard. Obviously, with all the switching that go on, you're gonna have to see him at some point.
Man, them dudes was huge last year, and I felt like size-wise, they matched up better than any team in the West or the East. Toronto got them, but Toronto was a different beast against Philly. I think Toronto got lucky against Golden State just because of the injuries, but
they did.
I think Philly still, even with losing.
You don't think Kawhi didn't show out though in that series against the Warriors? Pascal did too. So he was killing Draymond.
I am a Draymond fan, so I will not allow any slander. I'll go on the record saying that Siakam is good. He's actually pretty impressive. Kawhi, I like Kawhi. I think Kawhi is a great player. I think that championship last year got overhyped, mainly because they didn't. I think they've been wanting to cancel Brown for a while, and they've been looking for who's gonna come up next. KD was hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt,
yeah.
So it's like they've been trying to figure out, because think about it, if you come into the league, if you're trying to cancel Brown, KD's out.
Mm-hmm.
Clay's out, so Golden State is irrelevant.
Right.
Who is it that you're gonna try to build the league around? Giannis, but he's in Milwaukee, and they
Kawhi beat them.
Yeah, so it's like the next person naturally that you'll go with is Kawhi, and it's like I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I do think he's a great defender. Offensively,
he a bucket now.
That guy,
he a bucket now.
It's hard to guard him.
Yeah,
man. And that's the only reason why it's like I like him. I just need to see when he's healthy and when everybody's healthy how he plays. Because he was just a cog in the system in San Antonio. When they always been a well-oiled machine. You know, for years. But he got that MVP of the finals, and it's like.
I mean, but he guarded Bron, so I mean,
what does that have to do with anything? Is he the best player in the series? I thought that's the whole reason of the MVP.
LeBron is always gonna be the best player in the series. It don't matter what team it is, bro.
The best player on the winning team. Because I think they said the only person that ever won the Finals MVP in a losing effort was Jerry West. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is. That was back in the 60s.
How bad did the winning team have to play?
It was only 8 teams in the league at that point.
Nobody on the winning team could be considered close.
Wasn't it the Celtics that won that?
Probably.
I'm like, they ain't give it to Bill Russell or nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's wild.
But yeah, I got Philly. I think I got Philly beating Boston just because of the size. I like Boston. I've grown to love Kemba because when he was in college, I still upset about that step back he hit on Pittsburgh. I did not like Kemba.
Kemba was a killer.
He was a man.
Kemba.
Man, my boy, my roommate from college, and one of my good friends from high school, he was a UConn fan, and he let me hear about Kemba every time he did something good.
No, I actually think Boston would win that series, man. I think Jason Tatum was starting to peak, and I just think that there was just a lot of dysfunction in Philly. Just really inconsistent throughout the year, and I feel like Joel, he was playing good, but he wasn't playing as good as we know he could play. You only averaging 22, 23. Like, no, you can be doing more.
What you want him to do? Average 40?
No, he need to be at like 25, 26.
Yeah, but I think he dealt with injuries too, didn't he?
He was, but I mean, he's been injury prone. He's had a history of injuries since he came into the league. So
big dude, man.
He is a big dude. But at the same time, he got so much talent, bro. And it's like, I really think that they can get a ring, and while they in their prime, if they do it right, they put the right pieces there.
But Philly just got even bigger. They got a Horford now. So
they got Tobias,
Embiid, Richardson, and Ben Simmons.
I just think losing Jimmy was tough. Jimmy wasn't the closer last year. But that's look, that's only one of the series, bro. The other series is the Utah and the Rockets. Now, obviously, Rockets is winning that because I don't know if you heard Bogdan or Bohan had to get surgery, so he out.
He was a role player.
He was the scorer. He was getting
Donovan
20.
Mitchell was the scorer.
Bohan was getting 20. That was one of the other secondary
Mitchell
scorers.
Was an all-star. He was the scorer.
I listen. I know Donovan is the team as well as Rudy, but I just don't think that their offense is going to be as potent when Donovan got to do all of the scoring.
He's a little guard, but I don't know how Houston matches up with Gobert, because even if you do all the dribble, step back, shot, like you do that, you still got to get to the basket. Gobert is 7 foot.
They don't have no C.
They don't have no
C.
Big man, so you're not getting rebounds down there. You gonna get, unless they just get him in absolute foul trouble.
Unless they just outrun it, turn into a track meet. Then
I don't know how. I think that's the only way Houston wins that series. And that's not because I hate James Harden. I actually like Russell Westbrook a lot. Like I really like.
I love his attitude, just how he go about the game.
This is aggression, playing like
on this court. I don't like none of y'all.
I don't like anybody on. I barely like my teammates. The only reason why I'm passing them the ball is because their jersey is the same as mine. If this was any other circumstance, like tomorrow, if we going shirts and skins and they got on skins and I'm shirts, I hate their guts. I love that, man.
No, he'll ride for sure. What's the other series? The other series is Toronto and Memphis.
Toronto should win that.
They should easily, because all you got to do take away the young boy. However, I love the young boy, John Morant, because he reminds me of Westbrook. When, he just...
Tay, I was talking to Tay the other day, and he gave a mean comparison. I was like, ooh, I kind of like that.
Shout out to Tay, bro.
Yeah, shout out little cuz. Man, he said Ja reminds him of Derrick Rose. And I said, you know what?
You do.
I could see that, because once I saw Ja drive, he was driving from the wing and he just rolls on Aaron Baines just out of nowhere. I thought he was just going to shoot a floater, and he just rolls and punched. I said, Lord,
he trying to punch it every time, too.
Ooh, that boy cold.
Yeah.
That boy cold. So who you think? Rookie of the year?
Take Ja. I just think he got more body of work, and I think they're going to look at that. Like, obviously, I'm not taking nothing away from Zion.
Right.
For however many games we've seen him, he a grown man already, and he only 19. If you moving Steven Adams and Rudy Gobert, and you a grown man. And I ain't never seen nobody like him, bro. But I haven't, bro. Like,
do you remember Sean Kemp? Did you get to see any of Sean Kemp play?
Rain Man.
Oh,
Rain Man. God. Listen, I may not have seen him because obviously he came up in the 90s. And I was just out the womb then, but
still young. I still see some wetness behind you. Okay, go ahead.
But I knew he had verticality. That's what they like to call it. And he was an instant lob threat. You just gotta throw it in the atmosphere, he gonna get it.
And he dunked so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think. Him.
They compared him to Barkley, but
Barkley wasn't as athletic.
But Barkley had a little bit more of a handle. He could, but not to say that Zion don't have handle, but Zion getting 22 a game already, and he don't really have much of an offensive repertoire, bro. He just throw it up, and then the way Lonzo just pushes the ball up, and Drew, and then everybody say Drew is the most underrated player in the league, Drew Holiday, and he is. Then you got Brandon Ingram, who is an all-star.
Is my guy.
That's
my new favorite player in the league.
He cold.
Like, I've been struggling ever since Bean passed, because it's like my favorite player. Like, ever since he passed, it's like, man, I've been struggling. But I remember when they drafted Brandon Ingram, I'm like, okay, I could see something, you feel me? And then I'm seeing him like dribble, and I'm like, okay, I kind of like his game, you feel me? Got that lanky, and then I always like when you got a guy that's like that at 6'8", 6'9", long arms, and they willing to sit down and play D. Because if you willing to sit down and play D in your arms that long, you naturally gonna be a good defender. You know what I mean? And that's what you see with him, because you can put him 1 through 3. You can play him 1 through 3. He ain't strong enough to guard a 4
or 5. Yeah.
But 1 through 3, he can play, and he can cause havoc, man. And I really like his offensive game. You can tell he got the confidence, and he done got a little stronger, because when people push him, and then he get the flexing after he get the N1. I'm like, okay, then. Yeah. It's my guy.
I like him, man. But I think that the Raptors will ultimately, they got a defensive team anyway. They the number 3 defensive team without Kawhi, bro. So it's like,
Toronto just annoys the hell out of me. I don't like the Raptors. I don't like the organization. Like,
they got a ring, so
well, by default, man. We need to start putting asterisks by some of these titles, man. Like
they gonna put an asterisk on this one.
No, it can't.
They already saying it.
Hey, man, 70% of the season was played. So we know who's going to the playoffs. We know who's
good. We know who's not good.
We know.
So throw the teams in there. Yeah, let's just
let them
duke
play.
It out.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that.
I'm fair. Yeah, that's fair. The last team on the Lakers side of the bracket is Denver and Indiana.
Denver and Indiana. Joker a bad boy, but he scares me because he's not consistent.
Yeah.
Like he might get a triple double, but he get them ugly triple doubles, man. He get a 10 point, 16 rebound, 11 assist game. It's like, and all you got me was 10, man. You 7 foot, you handling the ball, and all you got me was 10.
Yeah.
But
like,
if he
actually was upping his game towards, as the season was waning on.
But I think part of his issue is he just not in shape, man. Like you could tell, like he just
like once he actually take conditioning for real.
If he get in shape, he's gonna be scary because he's just out there just
he don't have the skill, because he's not athletic, but just the fact that he knows how to move.
Man, I was listening to something the other day. Somebody said if Shaq would have took weightlifting serious. Oh, it was Karl Malone. He was on a podcast I listened to, and he said if people like Shaq would have took weightlifting serious, they would have had to change the league, man. I think he was dominant and wasn't lifting weights like that, man. He was just big.
Just big.
You know what I mean? Like
dominate.
And I feel like Joker is that's the body that he just wake up and just go to the gym, shoot a couple jumpers, and he jog. You know how the people that know they the star player, they not running hard. A lot of them are not running hard in the drills.
But I think they got a well-coached team though, like Jamal Murray and then
Kentucky,
Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr. If he ever, if he develops a little bit more. Who else?
Cuckoo.
All right, my fault about that.
Scared of the mailman.
I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, man, I'm excited for the league to get back. Just because I want to see a champion crown, and I think Brian and AD ultimately get it done.
That's what we do, man. Now then we'll be. I'm pretty sure we'll be tied with Boston. Yeah, then everybody else is just flake down there. Even the great Jordan, he only got 6. That's all. That's all Chicago got.
So Brian had 4 though.
3 in 3 different cities.
What if the Clippers get it?
Clippers are not going to get it. But they did. I did hear people talking about. They was like, man, if Kawhi, like this is the first year that they've ever had it to where if LeBron or Kawhi wins, they will both be the first players to be stars
in 3 different
cities. Like, man, that's crazy. But Kawhi not gonna win. Forget him. Forget the Clippers. They're a joke. They're a joke of a franchise. They're not a rival. They've never done anything. They're bumps. Miserable bumps.
He talking spicy right
Yeah,
now.
they are bumps.
Shit.
Lakers are gonna win if they resume. That's why they like, man. If we resume, we know he gonna win. They don't want Brian to get that one. Ooh wee. And oh man, because you know next year probably gonna be AD's team. Brian gonna fall.
Brian
back.
opened up AD's game.
Mm-hmm.
AD was going to run for Defensive Player of the Year.
And don't forget about shout out to my dog Kuz, man.
Kuz.
I don't even rock with that many light skinned cats, but I love his game too, man. Give me Brandon Ingram and Kuz 2-on-2 against whoever you want. What's up?
You really taking them too?
What's up? Who you got?
Brandon Ingram and Kuz against anybody else.
What's up? Who you got right now?
Well, shoot. For one, I'd take Tatum. Because, by who?
Ingram.
By who?
Ingram.
Oh, stop it.
Can Tatum check Ingram?
Yes.
Stop it.
Come on, cuz.
Yeah, I said it. Who else? Who's the other one? Who the other one?
Shoot, Pascal.
We cleaning y'all.
So Tatum and Pascal versus Kuz and Brandon Ingram. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. That's what my team is winning that.
Man, create a poll and I bet you my team wins.
Bro, what?
My team winning. What we going to? We going ones and twos to what? 21?
Yeah.
Ones and twos to 21. Y'all don't stand a chance.
Y'all can put it down in the comment section who will win
21. We win in 21-16. We'll give y'all 16.
That's crazy,
if y'all lucky.
Bro. That is crazy. I just feel like I got the better defenders.
Excuse me?
Kuzma ain't no defender.
Man, look. Ingram will defend whoever. That's all we need, man. We need Kuz to get a basket. That's all he on the team for. You got guys that's like pretty good across the board in defense and offense. Nah, Kuz is gonna get you a basket. Ingram gonna do whatever. He can run a point. He can. You feel me? Like Kuz just need to get going. Like Kuz just needs somebody to get him a shot.
Tatum is both Pascal and Tatum can score. Both was all-stars.
Hey.
Both elevated their game.
Is locking up. Who you want Ingram to check?
It don't matter who
you want Ingram to check because they getting canceled. Locked up clamps.
You already saying that Brandon Ingram's gonna eat Tatum up. I don't believe that.
Okay, so if you want to put him on
then they both from Duke. I don't know you don't rock with Duke, but
no, that's all Kentucky, man. Duke some cheaters.
But yeah, Brandon Ingram, your man's though.
I rocks with Brandon Ingram. Hey, you want to know why I rock with Brandon Ingram? Like, I always liked him, but man, last year when Chris Paul and Rondo got into it, and Ingram just came back out of nowhere, he down the ride. Them the type of people that you need, and you would look at him and you'd be like, man, he ain't about to do nothing like that. Man, you know, he didn't even care what happened. All he did was he was coming to get a punch.
No, yeah, he was riding for his team.
You feel me? Like. He was solid in my book from then on out, bro. He ain't got if he don't score another basket, he's gonna live in infamy for me. I rocks with B.I., man. B.I. is my dog. Where is his shoe deal?
I think that's coming once the Pelicans.
I can't wait till Kuz get hit. Like he come out with his signature shoe. I'm copping, and I don't even rock Pumas.
Man.
I don't even rock Pumas, but I'm getting me some Kuzes. What are you gonna call them? Koozie Coolers 1? Ooh! I need to patent that.
So before we let you go, cause I want to ask you one more question about the young talent in the league. Mm-hmm. Give me your 5 best young players in the league right now.
When we say young, or
I'm saying 25 and under.
25 and under. Joel Embiid. Because he's 25, right?
Yeah.
How old is Giannis?
Giannis is 25, just turned 25.
Them two, like I said, B.I. I really like him. I really think he could, like, as he matures, he's gonna be a real big problem. I know a lot of people, because of his build comparing to KD, I don't think he's gonna be that good, but you know, I think he's gonna be really, really good. I really do like Tatum.
Right.
Then my last person, you probably waiting on me to say Ja. He good. He's good.
I was thinking Luka, but
I like Luka. He need to get a little tougher.
you think he need to get a little? Is that just the European thing?
I think he just need to get a little tougher. You know
I think he didn't play with grown men though.
that's
Like,
cool. He still need to get tougher. He do a little bit too much crying for my liking. Like I paid for the league pass. That's another reason why I want the league to come back. I paid for the league pass this year and started watching my Lakers, and I haven't been able to watch them in 3 months. I'm pretty upset right now, but I digress. When they was playing them, you know, he just did a lot of crying, and I just didn't like that. Like I was like, as talented as he is, I just didn't like all that crying. So I would probably go with trying to think. I want to say another guard that I really like out there. Trying to think through real quick. You know, how old is Devin Booker?
22.
Give me them five. Give me them five, and we getting it done.
Yeah. And D-Book don't get his credit.
And Phoenix.
That's because they're not winning though. But at the same time, it's crazy. Trae Young make the All-Star team, but I mean it's the East because Kyrie was hurt. You know, KD was hurt. John Wall hurt. So I mean,
and everybody went to the West.
Yeah. Not to take anything from Trae Young though, because he definitely was balling, but
everybody went to the West. I mean, think about it. Everybody went to the West. Jimmy came back.
But the West has the better teams, the better rosters, the better ownership. It's just been proven.
Hey, I think
you take LeBron and Jordan out of the last 20 years, the East would damn near have nothing. Mm-hmm. If you take Larry, Jordan, and LeBron out, the East, how many championships would the East have? You feel me? Like,
you had the Pistons, you had Philly won one. And then probably the rest of them was Boston.
Shoot, maybe Miami that 1 year in 06, but
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that's something that Unc always said, that, you know, a lot of times people will say like, well, the league, people act like they like it when the league you never know who wins. The league has always been like this. You know who's gonna win pretty much. The Celtics, if they weren't winning, then it became the Lakers. Then it was Detroit won a couple years, and then Chicago won the whole 90s, and then
obviously the Houston popped their head in a few times.
Yeah, so. But you pretty much know who was gonna win, you know, when you come into the year. Golden State had their run, the Lakers had the run in the early 2000s, and then the second run with Kobe and Paul Gasol and all of them. You know what I mean? So it's like then wherever Bron went, that was the you know
basically
wherever Bron went, that was who was going to the finals. But
that's what we'll remember for his whole career. Like
that's still amazing.
Yeah,
man. When you think about it, that was. I don't know if we'll see something like that again.
That is crazy, and obviously you can't win them all, and they do fault them for not winning. You know, the 2011 one was definitely not his brightest moment, but you know,
man, he shouldn't have got the one that they won. And Draymond don't get suspended. Look, I'm riding for Draymond, man.
They said he shouldn't have got the one against the Spurs, man. Like it's always
who, Brian?
Yeah,
he should have. I didn't have no problem with any of the ones. The only ones that he just didn't have a chance against the Spurs was that first one. You know, but you know, I felt like anytime he went into the series with the Spurs, obviously the Spurs had a better coach, but me and my friends still talk about we don't understand how he didn't get at least 3 out of Miami. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the team just got old. He was obviously. I mean, Wade had got old.
Wade got hurt.
And when Wade wasn't Wade no more, they could not
And it just became strenuous on Brown.
Yeah.
He probably like, man, I might as well go back to Cleveland.
Right. I mean, obviously, Kyrie got hurt. Yeah. Kevin Love got hurt. Yeah. Brown done been, and Jordan even said it in a documentary. Without Scotty, bro, she's chalk.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan know that.
Yeah, it's man, forget Jordan. I ain't gonna start that.
That's another conversation.
Yeah, I ain't gonna start that. I'm gonna let you.
But look, bro, I appreciate you coming on.
You already know, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the invite, man.
Yeah, bro.
I finally made it. Mama made it.
Tell the viewers your app, man, so they can follow you, or, whatever.
Hold on, let me look it up real quick. I don't be paying attention. I rarely be on my socials, but I think Snapchat. I'm flashy_Mr. MR. Instagram, I think I'm gutta. What am I? Gutta_. I'm sorry. On Instagram, I'm _Gutta_2X. And on Twitter, where am I? Gutta. Oh, on Twitter, I'm just _Mr. Flashy. So yeah, get to know me, Mike Lowry, Mr. Flashy, Gutta, Nuke, whatever you want to call me. That's me. I'm him.
And this is gonna be up on my channel real soon. All streaming platforms. If y'all like this, man, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more.
Make sure they follow me, you too.
Oh yeah, follow me. Obviously, I didn't put my tag in there. __ Jamal G7 on Instagram. __ I think it's the same on my Twitter, and then my Snapchat is _RunnersLifeJ7. And then we out.